Avatar: The Last Airbender is a show that is loved by many. This show was released on 2005, yet it's still making a lot of noise. People are still talking about it, and they are still making content about this show, especially on YouTube, and it's still getting lots of views. So what makes this show so great? Satisfying character arcs and character development. Especially Zuko, considered by many one of the, or perhaps the best character development in anime cartoon history. In my opinion, no one can top Zuko's arc. Relatable characters. Every character just feels so human. Every one of them is flawed, which makes them so easy to relate to, root for their victory, or maybe just want good things for them. Amazing and beautiful world building. The Avatar universe is just so well written and really beautiful. Valuable lessons. The writing of this show is so beautiful and you could always take a lesson from each episode. Awesome fight scenes, with each bending styles based on real martial arts, incorporating elements to them. Waterbending is Tai Chi. Firebending is based on Northern Shaolin. Airbending is based on Bughaw. And earthbending is based on Hangar. I think it's very creative for the creators to do this, and not just some random fight scenes with characters throwing rock and fire at each other. And I'm so happy they hired Sifu Kisu, a real martial arts expert, to choreograph their scenes, because the fight choreography is just so good. Inspiration from different culture. The Water Tribe is inspired by Inuit cultures. Air Nomads are inspired by Tibetan culture. The Fire Nation is based on Japan and China, with a bit of influence of Korea. And Earth Kingdom, which is primarily based on China and its neighboring states. Each nation is not strictly based on these culture though. It's beautiful to see all the different inspiration it took from different culture. I think it's awesome, and it also makes the Avatar universe feel really big, and it's great to have a really diverse cast. Now speaking of culture, what if there's another group of people in the Avatar universe that is inspired by Filipino culture? I think it'll be fun designing a character that is inspired by our culture here in the Philippines. It'll help me become more knowledgeable and appreciate my culture. And maybe you will too. Heads up, I'm not an expert about these kinds of things, both in information about Avatar or Filipino culture. I'll be using information and knowledge that I already know and through research via Google. So you can correct me if I said something wrong or criticize me about this video down in the comment section below. Or maybe you want to add more to this topic, that'd be really great too. Some things I will also say is my personal opinion, and you can feel differently about it. First, let's think about what type of benders they will be. So, Philippines is an archipelago, meaning island group or island chain. Our country is a collection of islands surrounded by big bodies of water. So I thought the Filipino tribe would be great as waterbenders. Now how will this group of people fit into this world? The origins of this tribe would greatly tie up with the origins of the Foggy Swamp Benders. Now I don't know if this is legit because I got this off from the Avatar Wiki, which is created by the fandom. So the origins here of the Swamp Benders that thousands of years before the 100-Year War, tribesmen migrating from the Southern Water Tribe came across the Foggy Swamp in the southern eastern Earth Kingdom. Due to the availability of water in the swamp, the waterbenders felt at home and decided to stay. So I'm thinking, what if these tribesmen split up, one came across the swamp and one came across this archipelago? And they also made it their home because it's also surrounded by big bodies of water, forming the Filipino water tribe. Now, I don't really have a name yet for this tribe. If you have any ideas, you can comment down below. I'll be creating two characters, one male and one female. I want these characters to complement the two contrasting siblings of Avatar The Last Airbender, which is Katara and Sokka, and Azula and Zuko. Right now I'm designing Alon. His name is based from Alon, who is the king of Tondo in the 13th century, who expanded their borders by conquering neighboring territories such as Kumintang, Batangas, and Bicol. By the way, I got this off from a Twitter thread. Here's the original poster. Also, the real reason I actually chose this name is Alon means wave in English, so I thought it was very fitting because I'm gonna create him as a waterbender. There's so many types of traditional clothing I could base on with all the different tribes in the Philippines. I went with the Barong Tagalog because it is our national clothing along with the Barot Saya, and it is a common formal attire in Filipino culture. The version that inspired me in Alon's design is the 19th century one, which is the intricate version of the Barong Tagalog. A collarless shirt originated from the ethnic cloth called kama. Underneath the transparent Barong Tagalog is the camisa de chino, a type of shirt usually in white that's said to have been originated from the Chinese. The footwear are sandals because the other choice I have is leather formal shoes, which I don't think would be great for waterbending or normal fighting. He's also wearing a salakot and rain cape. Salakot is a traditional lightweight headgear from the Philippines used for protection against the sun and rain. I don't think rain is a problem for waterbenders, but let's just say he's not skilled enough to stop rain. They are usually dome-shaped or cone-shaped and can range in size from having very wide brims to being almost helmet-like. They are made from various materials including bamboo, rattan, nito ferns, and battlegourd. The tip of the crown commonly has a spike or knobbed finial made of metal or wood. It is held in place by an inner headband and a chin strap. The hairstyles back then are usually a side part or parted in the middle. I went with the side part. Now I move the designing digitally because it's more efficient. Picking colors traditionally is so limited, so doing digitally would also give me more creative freedom, especially when making the Barong Tagalog transparent. The sketch is done traditionally because it's easier, because I'm doing digital on my phone with my finger, so it takes a lot of zooming back and forth because the screen is so small. So not easy for sketching. I could screw up the proportions if I sketch on my phone. The color scheme is blue and yellow to represent the two seasons of the Philippines, which is rainy and sunny. Bughaw's design is also based in 19th century's clothing. The bodice is the camisa, a collarless chemise whose hem is at the waist and is made from flimsy, translucent fabric such as pineapple fiber and juicy. The sleeves of the camisa are similar to the so-called angel wings, or shaped like bells that have cuffs. Though I didn't make her sleeves that big because she will be a fighter and I feel like it's just gonna get in her way and she's gonna need a lot of room to move. So I made it a bit smaller and more flowy. So yeah. I know it's just a drawing, but I want the character design to at least make sense. She should also have a pañuelo. Pañuelo is a stiff covering for the neck, which acts as an accent piece because of the embellishments added to it. The purpose of the pañuelo is related to modesty, used to cover the low neck camisa. But I didn't because it would also get in her way. I'll explain her fighting style later. Just a reminder, I'm not making this historically accurate. I'm only taking inspiration. Her skirt is a saya, a skirt shaped like bubble with a length that begins from the waist, reaching the floor. Now here, I made the skirt shorter and more flowy, cause again, for fighting reasons. Before the colonizers reached the islands of the Philippines, around the 10th to 16th century, women usually wore jewelry often with intricate beadwork and other ornaments. They also wore gold necklaces and earrings, which symbolized wealth and beauty. In some tribes, women also wore tattoos signifying beauty, power, and wealth. So I gave her necklaces and tattoos to show that she is very strong and powerful, yet elegant and beautiful. I simplified the tattoos just so it would fit the style of the Avatar universe. She's also wearing a salakot. Her hairstyle is tied back in a bun. Bughaw will be the non-bender of the siblings. The non-benders are just so badass of the Avatar universe. Seeing the different ways they fight is just so awesome. In a world where elemental bending martial arts is a thing, seeing characters who don't have this ability and hold their own against the benders is so cool and inspiring. This is also a good chance for me to incorporate our national martial arts, which is arnis. Arnis is also known as kali or eskrima. It's the national martial art of the Philippines, which emphasizes weapon-based fighting with sticks, knives, bladed weapons, and various improvised weapons, as well as open hand techniques without weapons. Arnis was developed by the indigenous populations of the Philippines, who used an assorted range of weaponry for combat and self-defense, encompassing both simple impact and edge weapons. Arnis traditionally involved rattan, swords, daggers, and spears. The weapon I gave her is the baston or yanto. They are typically constructed from rattan, an inexpensive stem from a type of Southeast Asian vine. And just like Alon, I continued designing her digitally. The color scheme is also blue and yellow, representing the rainy and sunny season. Wait, I didn't mention it, but Alon also has tattoos. They are colored dark blue with wavy motions, symbolizing the waves of water, which is their element. I'm not very I'm not very proud with the finished drawing of my OCs because I was trying to imitate the art style of the show and I think I did a very mediocre job. I'm happy with the overall design though. I think it's decently cohesive. So I did my own version to really see my vision with the characters I created, which is a very semi-realistic type of style. I also want to do an action pose because I want to keep improving my anatomy. Also, I'm gonna be posting this on my Instagram and do a draw this in your style challenge. And you guys can freely join. It's not a contest and it's just for fun. I don't really have a prize for it. I'm gonna be reposting them on my stories though. It'll be a fun interactive type of thing. So that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like or dislike, however you feel about the drawing or about this video. Comment whatever the heck you want. Here's my art Instagram. I'm gonna be posting the drawing there, and that's where you can join the Draw This in Your Style. And maybe there's more info there. I haven't posted it yet right now because it's nighttime. So yeah, I hope you like the video.